Hello, my name is Gryffin and I will be performing Fayetteville by Brian Friel.
Who's your character?
My character is Frank. We were in the north of Scotland when I got word that my mother had a heart attack in a village called Kinlochbervie in Sutherland. About as far north as you can get in Scotland, a picturesque little place, very quiet, very beautiful, looking across the Isles of Lewis and the Outer Hebrides. And we were enjoying a few days rest there. Anyway, when we got word, Teddy drove me down to Glasgow. Gracie wanted to come with, but couldn't understand when I said I couldn't take her. But she used her incomprehension as fuel for her loyalty and sent me off with a patient smile. It was my first time home in 20 years. My father had retired and was living in a housing estate outside Glasgow. When I knocked on the door, he didn't even recognise me. When I told him who I was, he shook my hand as if I was an acquaintance and brought me up to the bedroom. She was exactly how I remembered her. Illness had not ravaged her, sleeping silently, her skin smooth and girlish, chin raised as an expectation. Jesus, I thought, oh Jesus, what am I going to do? She looks nice, he said. Yeah, I said, she looks great. He then cleared his throat. She passed away quietly. You missed her by approximately 1 hour and 10 minutes, as if he was giving evidence. And then he cried. And when he cried, I felt such an overwhelming feeling of relief. And when he cried, I cried easily with him. 12 years later, we were in Scotland again. We were in Ireland again with Teddy and Gracie. Things had been lean for a long time, or as Teddy put it, if we want to eat, we have to open up new territory, dear heart. You've cured them all here. Come on, let's go to the lush pickings of Ireland. And I agreed, because I was heartsick of Wales and Scotland as they were, and the whiskey had not done as much to the questions as it had done. My father died in the meantime, and I figured I always knew I would be back here. So on the last day of August, I took a trip from Sanglia to Larne, and we drove through the night to County Dogal. We rested at a pub, a lounge bar really, outside a village called Ballybeg, not far from County Dogal. There was no sense of homecoming. I tried to simulate it, but nothing stirred. Only a few memories, one in neutral. One of my father watching me through the bars of the day room window as I left for school. We lived in a rented house across the street. One of me playing with handcuffs, slipping my arms in and out of the rings. One of my mother singing a hymn to herself while making bread. Heaven, yes heaven is the prize. One of my father escorting a group of people through the barracks. I think they were inspectors from Dublin, and my father saying, yes gentlemen, certainly gentlemen, anything you say gentlemen. And a few other memories. They evoked nothing.
Okay.
My next my next monologue will be San Diego by David Gregg. I will be playing the character Andrew. We were on a routine flight to the Gulf when suddenly the cockpit door busts open and this guy, balaclava over his face, gun, tells me not to panic. Tells me to stay very, very calm. I say, I'm okay. He says, right, are you calm? I say, I'm calm. He says, right. I say, wait a minute, is anybody hurt? He says, not yet, but we'll shoot the fucking stewardess if you try anything fucking funny with the plane. If you try anything besides fucking bit funny, we will shoot her. In fact, if you do anything, if this plane does anything that we don't understand, and we do not understand a lot about aeroplanes, if this plane does anything, and we don't know exactly what is it doing, we will shoot her. Is that clear? I say, it's clear. Now, we know each other from that time in the airport where you find out the people on the plane with you. And my eyes get misty every time I hear her name. She's called Amy. Now, there's that time and the time where I'm entering the plane and crossing her down the aisle and say, hello, Amy. And she says, Ray, it's been a long time. And I say, yeah. And she says some other shit, I guess. Anyway, so now we know there's a thing between me and Amy. Yeah? Anyway, the hijackers say, take this fucking plane to fucking Baghdad. And I start flying the course, where suddenly the plane starts making this rhythmic sound. Thump, 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 like giant wings beating. The hijackers say, what's that? And I say, I don't know. And he says, shoot the stewardess. The co-pilot tries to overpower them, and he gets shot. I cradle my arms under him. The poor fucker. Anyway, the shots damage something or fucking other, and the plane starts going down. People are getting sucked out of the plane, and then kaboom! Crash in the middle of the fucking sand. After that, it's kind of like a Moses thing, as I guide, shepherd, more like, the people through the desert to Abu Dhabi. Amy survives, and we fall in love in the desert.